Yeah, so how do you deal with like discipline and not wanting to trigger a negative meaning making machine, but knowing that or maybe, hey, you tell me, like, do
Okay.
you need to corral them are there certain rules that they should follow? What happens when Billy punches somebody in the face?
That's happened to my kid, right? Now, I think there are two fundamental things we can have as human beings that define how we function in the world. The first belief is that human beings are fundamentally good. The second belief is that human beings are fundamentally evil. I have a major issue with religion. I think religion has gone past its time of usefulness in human society, and it's about time that we start questioning religion, and we should cut the cord and stop indoctrinating our children in our religion, whether it's Islam or Christianity or Hinduism or any other type of religion. But one of the things is, many religions are created by men and women and enforced by men and women who believe human beings are fundamentally evil. And that's where you get dumb ideas such as sin, bad karma, and things like that. I believe human beings are fundamentally good. I rarely have discipline issues with my son. Yes, there was a time, many years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, when I know my kid punched another kid because he lost his temper. So I sat down with Hayden and we spoke about it. And we spoke about the value of compassion. And we spoke about Ken Wilber and his theories of levels of awareness, how one can move from ethnocentrism to world-centrism to cosmocentrism, how all of us can be connected in life. I never disciplined him. I educated.
How old was he at this point?
He was maybe 5 years old.
And do you think he got that? I mean,
He
like,
did.
ethnocentrism is pretty intense. For most people.
You'd be surprised at how smart kids really are. So Hayden is aware of philosophers like Ken Wilber and understands many of these concepts. Now, here's why this is important. Charles Darwin, we all know Darwin, right? Theory of evolution. Well, in 1872, Darwin wrote a really interesting book. I forgot the name, but it had the word sexual in the title. I guess in 1872, you wanted to sell a book, you would put the word anatomy of reproduction and sexual something in the title, right?
I think that works today, too.
It works today, probably. God, I wish I could remember the name of the book. But anyway, you guys can Google it. It was written 1872 or 1873. And in that book, Charles Darwin spoke about this incredible idea called diffusion of sympathy. And when I read that paragraph, I felt like I felt like my hair stand on end, because it was like listening to the Dalai Lama, remembering that this was a guy who lived 150 years ago. He said, when human beings start understanding that they can be sympathetic to the community around them, very soon they start understanding that they have a natural advantage by being sympathetic to the entire nation. But then very soon they realize that they have a further advantage by being sympathetic to people of other nations. And one by one, this diffusion of sympathy will extend until someday the entire human race will be sympathetic to each other. He predicted world centrism. He predicted that more and more of us are going to go up to areas of world centrism. Charles Darwin didn't just talk about how we evolved, he talked about how we are going to evolve. The natural state of evolution of human beings, according to Charles Darwin, is that our sympathies, and sympathies is basically 1872 language for compassion, is going to extend and extend and extend until the human race is one. I guess today you can call that unity, right? So, back to why it's important for a kid to know this. When you see, and I'm not trying to get political, I'm trying to get logical.
Sure.
When you see a man like Trump get on television and blame Mexicans and blame Muslims, you can tell that his ideas are counter to the natural forward evolution of the human race, which is diffusion of sympathy to people of all colors and all creeds. In other words, he's holding us back. And if you decide that the goal of a political leader is to help human beings evolve, you would not vote for Trump, assuming you understood Darwin, you understood Ken Wilber's philosophy. My child at 7 can watch Trump on television and go, this guy is kind of, bad. So I believe that is the most important thing we can teach our people, because if people learn that, there would be no racism. There would be no wars. There would be no discrimination against people of different colors or religions. There would be no discrimination against gays. And the thing is, if you are a religious person and you learn that, the way you embrace your religion changes. Religion goes away from being a suffocating, poisonous brule to something that can open you up to new experiences.